Hello, everyone, and welcome to Born to Rise, Beauty from Ashes, the show that shows you how to delve into the depths of yourself and find the gold that's buried within so you can rise into the God-given warrior or warrioress you were designed to be. I'm your host, Stephanie Brandolini, and I am very excited about this episode. It is episode number 3. Well, only one three right now. Episode number 3. And there is a sacredness to the number 3. There is a power in it. I believe that numbers have a certain power. I mean, ultimately, it all comes from God, but I believe there's a divinity in numbers, and number 3 is very powerful indeed. And there's no coincidence there that this episode is going to go into the roots of where we come from and going into some divine healing and revealing how your core wounds really reveal your core gifts, but only when you bring them into the light. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So, whether you are someone who is aware that you have wounds or not, I mean, we all do, guys. It's just a fact of life. I used to hide from those kind of things and be like, "No, I'm fine. Nobody's fine, guys." Fine is like you don't really want to be fine, right? You either want to be excellent, magnificent, glorious, enjoy, or, the opposite of that, which we're not going to go into. But this episode in particular, the core wounds that I'm going to talk about today are the wounds of what shaped you, and these are specifically around parental wounds. Now, I just want to preface by saying this is not about bashing any parents or anything. Our parents all did the best they could. I hope they did. If you don't feel like they did, then this is extra for you. But this is for anyone, whether you had like a chaotic childhood, a calm one, it's there everything has shaped you, right? And until you face what formed you, you'll never be able to rise into who you're truly meant to be. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today specifically is this delving in process, because it is a process of going beneath. We're like onions go. Okay. Onions, I don't really like we're like cakes. There are layers to our cakes. You know what I mean? You can use onions if you want, but basically there are layers to us, right? And the more we delve deeper, the greater gifts you're going to find. And like I said before, those core wounds, when we go to the core, you find the core gifts. So one thing that I have realized myself, and others that I have worked with, and people who have read my work and have had like a transformational experience through reading, have shared with me that, most of what the wounds come from are misunderstandings, lies, stories that we told ourselves about whatever the wound, the thing that happened that created this wound that it's become like, that phrase, a mountain out of a molehill. I mean, that's what these wounds often are. And that's not to discredit them. That's not to say that they are not important or real, because they are real to you. And maybe it is a huge wound, like some big, big trauma. There's no comparison in the trauma here. This is a universal tool for everyone to be able to really look beneath and find the gold that lies within this wound that you likely think is a weakness, something to maybe be ashamed of, something you're hiding, something you may be hiding even from yourself. When I've done this work and others have done this work, it's like you find more than you ever bargained for, and you receive more than you ever bargained for as well. That's the beauty of this kind of healing. So, yeah, like I said before, it's not about blame, it's about breakthrough. And it's about using what you thought might break you to be built anew, to be built into the you were always designed to be. And this is not any kind of like hypey kind of breakthrough. The word breakthrough kind of gets thrown around a lot. But this is coming from a deep and holy place. You know, what I the being, the source, the Father I call God, um, is the one that really is working with us to reveal, feel, and heal those early wounds, so you can start to see the wisdom that they carry. and you can stop running and start rising. So let's get to it, shall we, guys? As we have gone into before, I'm going to be talking about my breakthrough, breakout international best-selling novel, Bridging the Digital Divide. So I'll do my little fun trick of picking it off the shelf. Where are we? I'm going to pick it off my shelf here and bring it forward for you guys. So this is Bridging the Digital Divide. And the reason I'm talking about this so much, you guys, is because this book is truly more than a novel. It is a transformational textbook, like I've said before. And this book, this novel, will not just be an amazing read, an exciting read, an epic journey you get to go on with an amazing, fun character. Um, it will also save you years of therapy and pain and anguish and allow you to go on this healing journey, healing, fun, transformational journey that you can refer back to. And that is why I do recommend getting a physical copy. This is a little fun tidbit. I used to be someone who thought it might be like, well, not might be, well, thought it was kind of blasphemy to write in books. I used to keep them so pristine. Like I almost didn't even like open them fully because I'm like, I don't want to crease. But guys, a well-worn book is a show that has given you life. So when you get yours, feel free to make notes, feel free to put sticky tabs, like even, okay, yes, you can fold the pages if you like. I remember there was a part of me that really didn't even like people folding the pages on me. I remember I lent a book to someone once and they had folded a bunch of the pages. I was not happy when I received that book back, you guys. But that just shows that they loved it. They were using it. So anyway, back to the book, back to the transformational textbook we got here. So again, this story is about Samantha Sands. That's her right there. And the story is set a bit in the future. It is about it is a healing and transformational journey around AI. She is forced to work with an AI writing bot at her family's production studio. She's very against that. But as she's forced into it, she starts to work with the AI, and through this energetic bond they have and these prompts that she gets prompted into this memory regression where she unearths the spiritual gift she has to heal herself and others. That is the basic of it. That's the basic blurb. But along this journey, the healing journey she goes through is really her uncovering these core wounds she has and bringing them to light so that they can be healed. Not by her alone, but by the source that is the source of all love for all of us. So one thing I wanted to say before we begin too is this all starts with, a being aware that you have the wounds at all. And that's not an easy thing. So if you're here watching this and you're resonating, like I give you props for being aware that you have these wounds because it all starts with that. And it starts by being in like a still place to know that and to receive it, you know, to be able to receive that there is healing there. So I'm not going to give spoilers in this, but when Samantha goes into this memory regression, there is a series of memories that we go through, and it does get to some very core memories and wounds. And the thing I want you to take away from this when you read it, for those of you that have been reading it, please do let me know. Keep telling me what you're loving and everything, because you're like you're following along with this journey that I'm sharing here, and also you're kind of the head of the game, So props to you, and continue to tell me what you've been loving. I love hearing about it. Um, but this deep work, you don't need an AI to do it. That's just how it works with Samantha. But when you go deep, there are, like I said, layers, and it's like going beneath, beneath, beneath to the wound that created all of them. This is what I'm talking about when I say the layers and when I say the roots, getting to the root of why something is bothering you now. I think it's kind of textbook that people have daddy issues or mom issues or whatever. I don't like to label it like that. It is like a parental wound. And this is not blame on our parents, by the way, guys. This is just how we process. If you were brought up by a robot, you would have a robot wound. You know what I mean? It's how you get raised, whether it was perfect. There's no perfect, by the way, guys, but in being raised, you are wounded in some way because I don't know why, guys. This is why I write about it. But it's true. And as we are in the adult phase we are now, we can go back and revisit those wounds as the adults we are now with the light of Christ. I call it the light of Christ that goes back with us into these wounds, and we can bring that back to help heal us. You can't, it's not like having a DeLorean where you can go back and like change the past exactly, but it changes who you are now because you can go back and in a way reparent this version of yourself. That is a universal teaching that I brought into this book to show you that you can do that. And I'll be honest, you guys, when I first started writing this book, I thought that I had the power to do this alone. And so does Samantha. But she starts to realize that that power, that true power to truly heal, comes from Jesus, comes from God, comes from the Holy Spirit that we all have the power to receive if we believe. So, belief, guys, that's a superpower. Use it wisely. So yes, on Samantha's journey, she goes deep into these layers, and that's what I want for you to be able to have the tools to do that. Because things will come up, guys. Things have been coming up like crazy for me lately. But because I have the tools that I wrote about in this book and another system that actually got developed from this book and from my signature talk, I'll be talking about that later, you can do this in real time without doing a whole big, like, it doesn't have to be a big ordeal. Like, at first, it probably will start out with, like, you gotta, like, sit down, face the thing, and go deep beneath the layers, do some writing and journaling. But eventually, you get to a spot where it's like, oh, this thing comes up, and it's like, okay, I can look into it. I can see it for what it is, and I see the wisdom in it, the gold in it, because there is. This is something I'm here to say with absolute certainty. Every wound, every resistance, everything has wisdom in it that you actually need to go forward. So that is what happens to Samantha on her journey as she goes. And this is like not a one and done thing, guys, like I said, but it can become more like just automatic, like an automatic healing almost. You got to be intentional about it, but when you do it repetitively, um, that's how it works. That's how you're able to do it in real time. So I invite you guys, if there is something coming up right now, I want to get real still with you guys and just go through a bit of this process on how this works. This is a bit related to the system I'm going to share with you later, but I wanted to focus more on how it works in this book. So Samantha, when she comes up against some big wounds and some big things that come up for her within herself that are blocking her from love, from success, and from her God-given calling. So let's just get still for a minute here, guys, because I want to do a little process on you that you can do, like rewind this, take notes, but if it's safe to do so, let's just pause and take some breaths and go through a quick little exercise that will show you how to go beneath the layers because a part of you won't want to do this. So it's like, it's not convincing them, but easing them into this because they do want to be seen and healed, but they might not want to at first. So, if it's safe to do so, you can close your eyes and let's do what I call 7-part breathing. The number 7 is powerful, you guys. It's my lucky number as well. So breathe in for 7, hold for 7, and breathe out for 7. Okay. I would usually do that a couple more times if I was with a client, but let's for time's sake just move on. But I hope that centered you a little bit because you do need to be still a lot of the times in the beginning to really see this part of yourself because it's a part of you that's coming up. So I want you to imagine in your mind that everything is dark. You don't really see anything, but you feel that there's something coming up, some kind of resistance, some kind of like pain or pressure or something from the past. It's not a now thing, but it is something that's echoing from your past. So just allow it to come up and accept that it's there. And As you start to accept it, you'll feel that you are softening, this kind of softening feeling. Breathe into that, and then imagine that there is more light coming in now that you're softening and accepting this. And now let the light shine on the part of you that wants to be seen right now. There is a wounded part of you that needs you to see it. See her, see him. Let them come forth. It might be a child version of you, it might be you from yesterday. I don't know. But let them come up and let your imagination show you, let your imagination reveal this part. So you got to face it. Face her, face him, and forgive this part and let them forgive you because you've likely been burying this part for I don't know how long, and they might not be happy with you, because they've been like in the basement of your mind kind of thing. But forgive and forgive with love and let them forgive you. And oh, I raised my hand. I'm gonna lower my hand now. Um, and let them forgive you. And then in that forgiveness, go into embrace this part. You get to embrace it, her, him, and embrace them with love. And that light that was shining around you, that's shining even brighter and revealing what's really going on in this part, the wisdom this part has to share with you, the gold. And just keep embracing this part of you. Like actually hold yourself, you guys, because touch is important here. This part of you does need to be seen, to be felt, to be heard. And then I'm doing this kind of rapid fire, you guys. It would be a bit slower with a proper process, but I just wanted to do this in real time with you. So embrace it. Embrace that little child of you or teenager, whoever it is that's come up, embrace them and let them show you the wisdom they have to give you because it's something you need for your next level. And speaking of next level, whatever has come up for you, know that it's always been yours. That the wound, the lie, the false stories, like you get to let that go, not just let it go, but cast it off, stop carrying it, drop it. And you get to rise with this part of you that's healed into your next level. I did not exactly plan to go through all that, actually, you guys. That was very spur of the moment, but that is actually a little hint at the system that I've been hinting at this whole time that came out of writing Bridging the Digital Divide and also out of my signature talk called Weakness to Warrior, Rewrite Fear and Rise. So there's your little hint. There's your little tidbit of that system. And next episode, we'll talk more about that. But throughout the whole book of Bridging the Digital Divide, when Samantha goes on her healing journey, she was doing that. And I didn't realize what it was called until God gave me this framework that I will share with you next time. And really, in this journey of Samantha's and your own, I already said this, but love. All you need is love. The Beatles were right. Love is the biggest thing to bring into all of this. Love for your parents, especially. This is a big thing that I have been realizing lately and very appropriate for me right now because yesterday, in fact, was the anniversary of my earthly father's passing. I wasn't sure if I was going to say that on my TV show, but it just feels appropriate because of what we're talking about here. And, you know, forgiveness, like we talked about last time, but ultimately love, love no matter what, because really your parents do love you. They do. And God gave you to your parents for a reason. And, that bond of family is very vital and important. That's a big thing that I've been realizing lately that I've been coming into and that Samantha comes into too, you know, and this realization that love really is the thing that binds us and heals us and redeems us. It really is love. I had this realization when I was a child, actually, that everything stems from love, either a lack of it, a need of it. And ultimately, if you can get to this level, which I hope everyone can eventually, is that not just a want, but like an inborn ability to give it and receive it. It's like really when we get down to the core of us, we're just beings of love. And yes, there's a lot of hatred in the world. There's a lot of like hatred in our own minds sometimes, guys. I had negative thoughts like all day today, but I went to church and I talked to God and I released a bunch of stuff and I was like, oh, those were lies. Anything that's not love is ultimately a lie. So that's a big realization that happens throughout this book. I hope I'm not giving too many spoilers here. And speaking of love, you guys, you love your parents, honor them, and I'll know too that that greatest love, that hole that might be inside your heart, it's a God-sized hole, guys, and that God-sized hole can only be filled by God. And then everything else kind of flows from it, and you can really receive the love of God. You can really love yourself. You can really love others. I've talked about this, oh, the power of three, guys, the three loves. And when it comes to those core wounds, specifically around like parental wounds or whatever's gone on in your past, whatever it is, those deepest wounds, they really can be transformed into fuel for your calling. And I hope that this episode has helped with kind of how to do that. And, I went through it a bit quickly, but please feel free to rewind and take notes and everything. And do reach out to me. I want to know how this helped. And I think I touched on this in the last episode too, but one thing that really helped me and has helped a lot of people, especially when they read this book, I'm trying to do this without spoilers, but there is a moment, this is a moment I had actually that I've written into this book where for just a moment, I saw myself the way God sees me. And I invite you, especially if you're a believer, even if you're not, like if you want to call it universe, source, creator, just get still, be still, and know that your God, creator, your universe is there with you. And really feel into how much God loves you, how much your higher power loves you. Because it does. He does, guys. And there's nothing greater than that love. And it's not a love that you're meant to just hold. It's a love that you're meant to give out as well. It's the most reciprocal, most mutual. You can't hold it in. Actually, when you receive the love of God, you can't. They talk about shouting from the rooftops about someone you're in love with. That's how I felt about the love of God anyway. And it's the one that will always keep going. It's infinite. It's infinite in abundance. It will never run dry. There's no scarcity in the love of God, absolutely. And I think I've said this before too, but I'm going to say it again. God's thoughts of you are always good, and they are always ever increasing, like the grains of sand on earth. You know how the waves roll in and create more sand? That's like God's love for you. It is infinitely abundant, infinitely good, and you can tap into that for so many things, like love, yes, but provision, resources, creativity, like health, wealth, creativity, and freedom. Those are my four pillars with faith surrounding it all. And it is faith that powers you to be able to receive this. And, that faith and belief can power so many things, like say, like we're talking about core wounds here, you guys, and specifically parental things. Like let's say you don't have the best relationship with your mom or your dad or anyone, whoever it is. I'm specifically talking about parents right now, so let's keep it on that. You can change that by the power of your belief. And, it might not happen right away, but if you believe it and you take action in that belief, walk in faith that it has already happened, it will be so. There is no other way. This is a God law, you guys. So, whatever wound has come up for you today, whatever is resonating from you within you about this, I would love to know. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to put my social links below, my website and all that. And, just know that your deepest wounds are fuel for your calling. And, the deeper you go and, sometimes the more it hurts, the greater the reward and the greater the gift. And I'm not saying it always has to hurt. It's not always going to be pain, but there is often pain we get to go through to find your greatest gift. So if you're going through it, just know you're not alone. Know that God is with you and know that you have the power to go in there. You're not alone. It's not by your own strength, but by He who strengthens you. And also know that if there is something that's coming up and that's knocking at your door, it is meant to. It wouldn't be in your face if you couldn't face it. So, guys, again, I do want to invite you into the epic journey and the transformational textbook that is Bridging the Digital Divide. Again, it's going to take you on an amazing journey, an amazing epic sci-fi, fantasy, spiritual adventure, and also transformation. And it will save you years in pain, in therapy, and so many other things. I am giving away I'm going to give away 3. Power of 3, guys. I'm going to give away 3 more free PDF copies. You'll find a link to that freebie in the episode description. But I do highly recommend getting yourself a physical copy. Maybe grab the freebie and then get the book as well. You can have both, but having something physical, I swear to God, guys, and you know I mean it when I say that, there is something about it, and there is an energy in this book that comes from me, that comes from God, that is in there. And I can't wait to hear from the new people who get the book, who go on the experience, the journey, and I would really love to hear what resonated from this episode for you. And stay tuned for more on the system that I have been hinting at to rewrite fear and rise. And guys, just know that you were born to rise as well. And, that greatest gift that will come out of you looking into these core wounds and revealing, feeling, and healing them, that's your testimony. That's your next, if you're an author, that's your next book. If you're a speaker, that's your next talk. If you're any kind of creative, that's your next project. Or if you're building a business, like, you can take these gifts and put them into whatever it is that is your calling, and you know what it is. And if you don't, we should talk, because I also help people rise into their calling too. So with that said, I'm going to say it one more time. You were born to rise. And until I see you on the next episode, may the force of faith be with you.
I was born to rise, born to roar, from weakness to warrior and so much more. Rewrite the fear, let the flame ignite. There's a magnificence in my mess. I was made to shine bright, no longer ashamed, no longer damned. What I feared now fuels what you say I am. I raise my hallelujah, I lift my eyes. I was born to rise. This is your prosperity era, where dreams align with grace, abundance flows like rivers. You've stepped into your place. Rise, reign, and remember, you were born to shine. Welcome to your moment, Prospera, it's time.
We hope you enjoyed today's show on Prospera TV Network. Make it a point to visit us on YouTube and catch all your favorite shows anytime you want. Interested in hosting a show of your own? Or advertising your business on our network? Contact Elena Rodriguez.